Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, longtime astrologer, psychic healer, and yogi. In this episode, I'm going to share my astrology update for April 2025. Phew, we made it through eclipse season and taking that big sigh of relief when Mercury goes direct on April 7th, followed by Venus moving forward on April 12th. Stay tuned till the end of the episode when I give my sun sign predictions for each zodiac sign. Welcome to the episode on the astrology of April 2025. We made it through spring eclipse season. We weathered an intense March with the solar eclipse at the end of the month and Neptune transiting into Aries. Check out my previous podcast on Neptune transiting Aries to find out more about this long-lasting transit. Get ready in April for eclipse fallout, however that might show up collectively and personally. Here are the key dates for April 2025. April 3rd, retrograde Venus conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. April 7th, retrograde Venus conjuncts Saturn in Pisces. April 7th, Mercury goes direct in Pisces. April 12th is a full moon in Libra. April 12th, Venus goes direct in Pisces. On April 14th, Saturn conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. April 16th, Mercury transits into Aries until May 10th. On April 18th, Mars transits Leo. April 19th, Sun enters Taurus. April 27th is the Taurus new moon. And April 30th, Venus transits Aries until June 6th. So you can see it's like 2 different months there. The beginning of April is still heavily loaded with these Piscean planets. And then we start breaking free. Early April augurs shifts in relationships and alliances with Venusian confusion as Venus transiting retrograde back through Pisces makes connections with both the North Node and Saturn. This can create the Venusian confusion as relationships are reevaluated and recalibrated. We may see some strange bedfellows coming together on the global scene and even in personal lives. On April 3rd, Venus retrograde conjuncts the North Node in Pisces, giving us a chance to take a deep dive within, if you haven't done that in February or March, to contemplate what is our heart's desires for these upcoming erratic times. Cultivating creativity, self-love, and connection to ourselves and our soul purpose. Karmic patterns in relationships can be revealed, as well as release from cycles of disappointment or delusion are possible. Be compassionate with self and others during this powerful time for healing the heart center. On April 7th, Venus retrograde conjuncts Saturn in Pisces. The alignment of retrograde Venus and Saturn in Pisces confronts us with issues in our emotional lives or relationships. This transit can offer deep introspecting, understanding of boundaries, where we want to commit our energy and with who and where we want to spend our precious time. Weed out those relationships which feel forced, obligatory, or draining. Avoid signing contracts or making firm commitments during erratic eclipse fallout and the Mercury retrograde cycle in early April. Mercury retrograde colliding with the eclipse season really stirred up the pot. Wait until after April 7th before taking action when Mercury is finally going direct. When Mercury retrograde comes to a close and shifts direct in the sign of Pisces on April 7th, clarity gradually emerges. The teachings we received in the past weeks and the emotional currents we surfed now will make sense. Our intuition and creative urges for the future can now flow more effortlessly. On April 12th, at 8:22 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the Libra full moon, also known as the pink moon, seeps in. Again, the highlight is on relationships and also creating more balance in our life and the avoidance of confrontation. This full moon with the sun in Aries is squared by Mars, triggering emotional sensitivity, defensiveness, or suppressed feelings, which are popping to the surface to be witnessed and healed. Mars, the ruler of the sun, currently in Aries, has been repressed in watery Cancer for months and might now seek to strike out or engage in conflict. Others may be prickly, so watch how you interact and give others the benefit of the doubt, as you don't know what they've been going through. Clear boundaries are advised during this full moon window. Venus, the ruler of Libra, has just emerged from a retrograde period in Pisces and has given time to reevaluate relationships and connections for the past weeks. Now, with the full moon in Libra, action can be taken to heal or deal with relationship issues. It's also a good time for romance, weirdly enough, bringing romantic potential to the next level. Aries, the sun is in Aries, representing the self or first house in astrology, and Libra is representing the other or the seventh house. Aries is about self assertion and speaking up for oneself, while Libra is about diplomacy and compromise. Many relationships that were on the brink of dissolution may call it quits around this full moon. Revelations will be popping up about relationships, whether marital, other types of partnerships, friendships, or romances. Decisive action may be taken to solidify or end relationships. Or if one is looking for a new relationship, this is time to do some love moon magic, planting spiritual seeds in alignment with the energy of spring. This full moon supports the planting of intentions, whether it's a personal goal, a spiritual practice, or manifesting abundance. Use this time to envision what you wish to grow in the coming months. And this pink moon has a natural connection to the forces of nature, deeply rooted in the natural rhythms of the earth. It serves as a reminder to align with ourselves and the natural cycles. We can do this by spending more time outdoors, grounding, go sit on that rock or hug that tree, or working with natural elements such as earth, water, fire, and air during this full moon that can deepen your connection to the planet's energy. On a global level, this full moon brings up issues of war, signified by Aries sun, and peace or diplomacy, signified by the Libra moon. The sun is at 23 degrees Aries and the moon is at 23 degrees Libra during this full moon. The Sabian symbol for 23 degrees Libra from Dane Rudar's An Astrological Mandala is, quote, Chanticleer's voice heralds sunrise. The keynote is a creative and joyous response to life processes. So nice for this first full moon of the spring. The cock that crows as the first coloring of dawn appears at the eastern horizon is beautiful symbol of the ability demonstrated by all pioneers and cosmically attuned individuals to give voice to what is yet unmanifested, but is on the way to manifestation. At every sunrise, there are a few isolated witnesses that herald the coming of the new day. What is at stake here is the individual's capacity of response to life's renewals. Renewals which are cyclic, predictable, yet always new, always creative. This is a symbol of rebirth and renewal. With Neptune newly in the sign Aries, we just started a new 14-year cycle, and this full moon gives us the green light to begin anew. And also this metaphor of it being sunrise coming on the eastern horizon also gives us hope for the future. And that time of dawn is always an important time in spiritual practices. It's always suggested to do them as the sun comes over the horizon to get the power of the cosmos. So this is a very important full moon with that Sabian symbol implying that we can bring forth from spirit manifestation. On April 13th, Venus transits direct in Pisces. As Venus resumes direct motion in Pisces, our hearts begin to bloom anew, infused with compassion, romance, and deepened spiritual connections. Relationships regain their flow, dreams around love become clearer, and we find ourselves ready to express our deepest feelings and desires with renewed softness and authenticity. The invitation is to trust your heart and allow magic to unfold. On April 14, Saturn conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. This conjunction is a profound call to align our practical reality with deeper spiritual truths and a soulful purpose. This transit emphasizes responsibility, structure, and discipline in our spiritual and emotional lives. It's very transformative time, grounding our dreams and visions for the future. On April 16th, Mercury enters Aries. It's go time as Mercury comes into Aries, joining the Sun and Neptune. Our minds are awakened, thoughts and communication speed up. The energy is starting to move pretty fast after the retrograde seasons in February and March and early April. Mercury in Aries energy is dynamic. We are to move on opportunity and assert ourselves, pursuing new paths and taking initiative. On April 17th, Mercury conjuncts Neptune in Aries at the very first degree. Mercury is considered the conscious or mental mind, while Neptune is representative of the spiritual mind. So very interesting. Mercury's conjunction with Neptune, which hasn't happened since about 1865. And fire Aries ignites a powerful fusion of intuition, imagination, and inspired thinking. Pay attention to what's popping in to your consciousness, whether they are ideas, visions, or dreams that are unfolding for us towards our future. Embrace this time as visionary communication and breakthroughs in the way we think can unfold, and interesting intuitive hits or psychic hits arriving. Then on April 18th, Mars enters Leo. Fiery planet Mars going into fire sign Leo. Mars has been a bit dampened in the past months, an extended stay in the sign Cancer, which Mars, the warrior, doesn't really like the sign Cancer because that means he can't go out and fight for what he wants. He has to stay at home. But now that Mars is in Leo, get ready. There's going to be a lot of passion and fire. Personally, it's going to help people become more confident.
Rock and roll.
Societally or globally, we're going to see many more outbursts and people standing up for their rights and what they believe in. Mars and Leo, you can't put baby in the corner. And it's going to trine with Neptune in Aries on the 18th through the 20th of April. This should be a very charged up time, could be quite volatile too. So it'll be interesting to see what unfolds on April 18th and the second half of April. And then we go into Taurus season. April 19th, grounding and giving us a reality check. So it's a really good time to connect with the earth and really take care of your physical body, align with your own biorhythms, maybe changing cycles of sleep and waking, or how you use your time as we come into spring in the Northern Hemisphere. So Taurus season keeps going from April 19th this year. It starts a little early till May 20th when the sun enters Gemini. So use the Taurus season to ground yourself, as I said, find stability within your life, take care of your financial house, and not from a place of fear, from a place of security and confidence. On April 20th, on 420, Venus conjuncts the North Node in Pisces. What a nice placement for alternate realities. Try to get there in a healthy way, but that is 420. I guess that's a famous date for marijuana. And with Venus conjunct the North Node in Pisces, people might be having some interesting trips. Venus is now direct and revisiting her alignment with that North Node in Pisces. So we're getting some clarity, and we're looking at purpose and how to step into your future and achieve your highest potential. And then Venus continues her journey going forward and conjuncts Saturn in Pisces on April 25th, as she did earlier in the month. But now she's transiting direct and rushing to get out of Pisces, revisiting Saturn, really getting consolidation on emotional insights and lessons from earlier in the month. Boundaries become clearer, and there seems to be a stability and perhaps more authentic relationships and ground dreams into a practical reality as during the time the Venus goes over the North Node. So that last week in April will be very interesting because there's a theme with Venus finishing her long retrograde cycle in Pisces and transit through Pisces, both going direct and retrograde and then direct. So she's helping us to wrap up some loose ends having to do with love and money. And all this is getting ready for the Taurus new moon that glides in on April 27th at 3:31 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, providing opportunities to ground our goals, seek stability, focus on abundance, take care of that physical body. Taurus, ruled by Venus, is an earth sign, and Venus has been very busy for the last months. So now we can ground all the Venusian energy, and Taurus rules the earthy things such as sensuality, physical comfort, and the pleasures of life. This new moon in Taurus urges us to build strong foundations for the future, get our money house in order, and find ways to feel more secure in our life despite what is occurring out there in the world. With Pluto in Aquarius and Mars in Leo forming a dynamic T-square, which is an astrological alignment that usually has some level of stress connected to it, we are urged to confront and release outdated values or limitations and attachments that have been interfering with our evolutionary path. So that's a powerful end to the month. And the Sabian symbol for this new moon at 8 degrees Taurus, the degree of both the sun and moon in Taurus, is, quote, a sleigh on land uncovered by snow. The keynote is the value of anticipating and preparing for expectable conditions, the value of future-oriented imagination, but also of relying upon the natural order of unfoldment in life's processes. Being in the money sign of Taurus, this Sabian symbol hints to saving for a rainy day or putting money away just in case. There could be some financial instability in our society coming because of the cray-cray policies being enacted by those in power globally. The key for negotiating the financial feature of this Taurus new moon is to recognize that your prosperity resides within and doesn't have to be reflective of the fickleness of financial markets and the roller coaster ride of the economy. It's a good time to say prosperity affirmations such as, I trust the universal spirit of prosperity to provide richly for me now. The universe constantly supplies money to me. I believe in my unlimited prosperity. I am increasingly magnetic to money. My prosperity thoughts create my prosperous world. So say some affirmations at the Taurus new moon around money, or you can say prosperity mantras such as Om Lakshmi Ganapataye Namaha, Om Lakshmi Ganapataye Namaha, Om Lakshmi Ganapataye Namaha. Or the seed for Lakshmi, Shreem. Lakshmi is the goddess of abundance in the Vedic pantheon. Shreem, 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 shreem. And then at month's end, April 30th, Venus enters Aries after her extended stay in placid Pisces. Joining Mercury and Neptune, Venus entering fire Aries awakens our hearts with passion and courage and a desire to boldly pursue love and joy. Relationships become energized. It also brings that impulsive and spontaneity into our lives. Time to play, time to have fun, and embrace what life has to offer and get out of fear, feel the fear, but do it anyway. Venus into Aries. Enjoy the ride. Stay tuned for zodiac sign forecast for April 2025.
Are you interested in natural health and regenerative healing? Do you want to work with vibration to heal your body? Check out this patented wearable light technology at www.lifewave.com/JillJar. LifeWave is a company that has patches that you wear, so it's not transdermal, you're not taking anything in, and what these patches do, they activate your body's light. It's called biomodulation, and that light is activated, your body starts producing GHK, copper peptides, which in turn activates stem cell production. That's right. So wearing these patches will regenerate your body, reflects your body's light back into your tissues, and you become more vital, energized, reduce pain, inflammation, improvement of sleep, increase strength are all possibilities. Other benefits could be hair quality, rapid wound healing, mental clarity, increased joy and stamina, your skin appearance and wrinkles could go away. Again, all probable and possible depending on your chemistry. Others have enjoyed increased sports performance and recovery and restored muscle or skeletal conditions. Check it out at lifewave.com/JillJar and order yours today.
Here's the part of the episode you've been waiting for, the sun sign forecast for April 2025. Aries, you're it. Wow, you certainly have been in a cosmic blender since March, with the sun transiting in Aries, the solar eclipse on March 29th, and Venus and Mercury retrograde in Aries, then popping back to Pisces and forward to Aries. One step forward, two steps back for you, Aries. The Aries new moon in late March was a mishmash for you because it was a solar eclipse, signifying delayed new beginnings as well as endings. Tread carefully, watch for impulsivity, and refrain from saying or doing things you will regret later. With Mercury transiting direct and kicking into Aries after April 17th, it's go time. And also, you got a whole new 14-year cycle with Neptune going through your sign. So take off those rose-colored glasses and look at the reality. Neptune will try to sweep you into the mists and fogs, but power on, Aries. Your lucky days are April 25th, 26th, and 27th. Taurus, you may feel a bit frazzled in early April, but the full moon on April 12th, alongside Venus, your ruling planet going direct, brings grace to your healing journey. You can finally get over those exes and move on to new romantic terrains. You enter the Taurus equinox on April 19th, intact and ready to make some gains, saying, show me the money. The Taurus new moon on April 27th is your ultimate jump up. This is your annual reset. Set your goals and pursue your dreams. Your lucky days, Taurus, are April 27th and 28th. Gemini. Gemini is humming at April's onset with Aries planets and Pluto in Aquarius, harmonizing with your sun, revealing glimpses of possible futures for you. Wait until after April 7th when your chart ruler Mercury is transiting direct to launch your rockets of inspiration. When Mars enters Leo after April 18th, you are burning with creative fires looking to light up your world. Your lucky days, Gemini, are April 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and at the end of the month, April 29th and 30th. It's a lucky month with 5 lucky days. Cancer, you tentatively crawl into April, seeking emotional security at the full moon in Libra and avoiding confrontation. When Taurus season starts on April 19th, you get your groove back and feel more stable and grounded. New moon in Taurus gives a big boost and perhaps some unexpected cash. Your lucky days, Cancer, are 4-4 and 4-5. Leo is revved up in early April thanks to Aries friendly fire, sending you some big oomph. Neptune is now in Aries, activating your desire for expansion and your search for higher wisdom. You're itching for an adventure. When Mars enters your sign on April 18th, let the games begin. You're on fire and living the phrase, energy flows with attention goes. So focus your attention carefully and thoughtfully. Your lucky days, Leo, are April 6th and 7th. Virgo, with Neptune transiting to Aries after 14 years through your polar opposite sign, you feel reborn and release. You are diving into new experiences of intimacy, transformation, and soul merging as you enter a new era of connection, healing, and release. Take it slow and enjoy the ride. Taurus new moon at month's end reboots your financial life and gives you some much needed resources. Libra, you're entering a new era of love and connection, initiated by Neptune transiting Aries. Let go of illusions around love and how you think it should be. Sometimes it's just the day-to-day connections that make relationships special. Aries energies could make you feel like a teenager in love and ready to try new things and experiment. When Mars enters Leo, you're swept into a whirlwind of fun and activity. Your lucky days, Libra, are April 11th and 12th. Scorpio, Neptune has entered your health and wellness sector for the first time in 150 years. So it's time to do your workouts seriously and embody peace while in your body's temple. Mars transiting into Leo in your career sector gives you some recognition and appreciation at work. When Taurus season and the Taurus new moon comes to town, you're reevaluating all your relationships, both professional and personal, and realizing that your energy is a valuable commodity. No more casting pearls to swine, Scorpio. Your lucky days are April 13th, 14th, and 15th. Sagittarius is receiving healing and love from fellow fire Aries planets, throwing nice vibes in early April. Sagittarius is forced to go within during early April with Mercury and Venus retrograde, but you emerge with clarity and confidence that moves you towards your goals. When Mars moves into Leo, you're on fire, boldly launching into new frontiers and planning adventures. Your lucky days are April 16th, 17th, and 18th. Capricorn, you're shaking and quaking in April as the Aries planets throw challenging aspects to your sun. Be clear in your communications and don't overextend. When Taurus season begins on April 19th, you start having fun and seek pleasure and other creative outlets. Taurus new moon at month's end brings new opportunities for wealth and well-being. Your lucky days, Capricorn, are April 18th, 19th, and 20th. Aquarius, Aries fires light up Aquarius's mind to deeper insights and ways to extend your outreach to humanity or community. Speak your truth and others will listen. There's a reason why you were born in the sign of the visionary. You really can see the future. Pluto transiting Aquarius has been kicking your ego to the curb so that you can tap into the greater truth and convey healing messages to others. Mars in your relationship sector on April 18th could ignite your love life. Your lucky days, Aquarius, are April 21st and 22nd. Pisces, Mercury retrograde in your sign until April 7th makes life feel like it's in slow mo. Neptune has left the building, and now you can pick up the Pisces pieces left behind by the diluting and glamorizing planet pulsing through your sign since 2011. Take those rose-colored glasses off and see the reality of your life. Taurus planets help ground and anchor you into your new reality. You still have 2 more months of Saturn transiting Pisces, chipping away at your karmas, while Venus and the North Node nuzzle through your sign. This is your time to clear the karmic debris and get ready to be rebirthed. Your lucky days, Pisces, are April 23rd and 24th.
It's a great time to book a reading. So check out my website, JillJardineAstrology.com/shop, and pick the kind of reading or service you would like.
I hope you enjoyed this episode on April's astrological update. Make sure you subscribe, download, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, sending cosmic currents into the quantum field. Stop.